Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Bradford now to throw on first down. And incomplete to open things up. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Out wide was the youngest player in the NFL in 2017, Juju Smith-Schuster. And he also had the longest reception in the league last season at 97 yards. Actually well-schooled in route running and able to run from both outside and moving inside to the slot position in order to make big plays.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On third down, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. First carry for Derrick Henry. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 20 carries, 114 yards, and a score.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get to play action and throw the ball deep later on.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Morgan Burnett. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts.
Now a hit, and the ball comes out. Bradford has lost it. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. all receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Back to throw here. Wide open receiver, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Javon Hargrave continuing to fight downfield. The big tackle gets him for a loss of 11.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down is something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Gets around him. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. He'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
Here we go now.
A first down carry for Henry. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks. But doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
Derrick Henry, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Now I wouldn't be surprised if they go for it. 3 points is not ideal, it's not what they want, but it's still only the first half. Take the 3 points and move on.
So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Sam Bradford heading back out as he and his offense get ready to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now Bradford on second down. Goes underneath for Bell. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Thomas. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Second down, here's Henry. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Now it's Henry, and he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. And this is going to be incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
The Broncos on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll drop to throw. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90! Blue 90!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. T.J. Watt, he's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground. It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a first down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. And McManus able to put it through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we can draw so far, they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still third down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty.
Hey. Here we go. Set hut. Ready.
Off the play fake. Bradford. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shane Ray in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call, because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And a Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Javon Hargrave in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Green 39. Green 39.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that, because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? One for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
Bell. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
To throw on 3rd down, Bradford. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
And that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula? They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he rifles one incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
He'll look to throw. Open receiver complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Over to the right side, caught by Moncrief. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. They'll set up a throw. And his throw is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. A 3rd field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Broncos on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Let's go! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. And McManus able to put it through, and that will make our score 9-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the 2nd quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And we put our focus now on Le'Veon Bell. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff?
Yeah.
serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Bradford. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And it's 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Bell. Bell a first down and then some. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bradford. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Final play of the half, Bradford. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And as you see, they were...
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Looking to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Again to Henry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw here. Quick hitter here is complete. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the 1st. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Over.
They go play action here on first down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Now a handoff to Henry. Got some real estate inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll go again with Bell. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
To throw, Bradford. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here we go. 30.
The give is to Bell. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run for it with Bell. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, but you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball. He's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey. Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 10.
Gone!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And Le'Veon Bell making his way back out onto the field now. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and we'll still get the first down. They love being physical.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They go play action. Now Bradford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. First carry for James Conner. And now running right through it. And he works free. A big gainer there on 3rd and 1. 47 yards. And a guy that can change the game, shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the nimble footwork gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's never a bad idea to try and get it to Antonio Brown, but there must be a little bit of the Madden curse going on for our cover athlete here. Hasn't been able to get that elite separation that we're used to seeing from him.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Eluding the pressure right. Now he's got a man complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. This is caught. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the one in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Derrick Henry, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Shreds the tackle. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On 3rd down, Bradford. And he comes back with one complete. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. To the right side and complete to Washington. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Bradford to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Here's Bradford. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Bradford in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's completed now 9 passes in a row. And they'll run it here. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
2nd down, Bradford. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
False start, offense.
Not easy being a rookie left tackle in this league, and there they got him for the penalty.
Not easy at all. Think about what you're dealing with every game you play. Ostensibly, the best pass rusher is over you on every snap. I'd be a little jumpy myself.
And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
David DeCastro, the former first-round pick out of Stanford, gets the flag. And this offense back to needing 10 yards after the false start. 3rd and 10. From the gun, Bradford. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
Offense.
So that'll back them up 5. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. This will be caught at about the 6. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Here's Connor. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Now Bradford on 2nd down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal?
Set. Blue landed.
Now it's the backup Rudolph. And his first throw since coming in is incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Here we go now. Green 39.
4th down, desperation time for Rudolph. And this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Bronco defense... Comes up big. And coming out now, the Broncos. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
No, check, Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On is the punter King to send it away. With it is Brown. Oh, now he bowls him over. It's a 42-yard punt, but 8 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here."
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Bradford now to throw on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far, nothing going right offensively. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. One last shot now for Bradford. And that will be incomplete. They were going for a consolation TD, but it was not to be. And time has run out now on this game. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Broncos, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they will fall to 1-1, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.